Okay, here we go. And this is my 1-inch U-Trek, and it's my largest brush. And even though it's large, I get some really clean lines. And what I do is I start when I pull a line. That's what I typically call it, pulling a line. And when I start, I turn it on end, and then I'm not turning it sideways usually. Sometimes I do to get the flat edge, but I'm just usually pushing down on it. And sometimes I can do it in a single stroke. Sometimes it takes me a couple strokes to fill in a line. Like that was a single stroke there. And then here, you can see I missed a spot. And I'll go back. See, I'll touch up stuff too. See, I'm going back in here and cleaning it up because I didn't cover all that teal color. And but this takes a lot of practice. It's just years and years. The more you do it, the better you'll get and the faster. And now that line I just did, that big thick wide line, I was turning it on the flat end. And a lot of it's intuitive. I you know, at this point it's almost like a dance, you know, and it just, there's another wide line where I turn it flat on end. And it's just, it feels really good. It feels clean, and it makes the character just look, you know, really tight and really brisk. And some people come by and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that was painted. I thought that was a decal," because people are so used to vinyl now. But that's kind of a cool shot where it's down lower, and I go over it twice. But it's pretty quick, and I think I do. There I'm scratching it out. Sometimes I get lazy. I don't want to get my blade out, so I just scratch extra paint off. And so you can see, like, even with this large brush, the kind of clean, fine lines you get, you know, if you turn it on end. It just feels wonderful. But yeah, if you've got any of you, if you guys ordered some of those U-Trek brushes, try them out and just try and do some lines. Get a old phone book or some butcher paper and just start making lines. Just it's really just like how much time you got in, how many lines, you know. Do 10,000 lines, you'll get better and better at it. And I'm sure I have 1,000,000 lines, literally 1,000,000, 1,000 times 1,000, easily have 1,000,000 lines I've pulled over the years. I was trying here to get a better angle too, to show you what I'm doing. I have a little cloth down there because I dip it in the paint, and then I wipe it off the end, because you can have problems with drips. And I have like a little can that I use. I love that line there, the little flippy do. So I was trying to point the GoPro down too. It's funny trying to stay conscious that this thing's on my head, and I'm trying to hold still and point it with my head in a certain direction. Here I'm using the flat side to, you know, the broad side to fill in the mouth. And you can sometimes I flip it back and forth to sort of even out the paint so it doesn't drip. This is such a clean character. You saw the video of me doing this stage by stage too. But I'm just really pleased with this video. You know, a lot of times I use the GoPro, and it's hard to tell the angle, like, you know, if I'm getting the right angle. And I don't know why I went over there. Oh, to get to my little step thing so I could get up higher. This is cool here. I like getting some really close up of my hand, and you can really see, like, my hand doesn't usually twist or turn too much when I'm pulling a line. My hand, like there, I'm twisting it. Obviously, I'm doing a circle, so I flip it around. You can see my whole hand turn, you know, and at the same time my arm. But I'm using my arm. My hand usually is locked, like especially if I'm doing big wide lines, you know. Now if I'm twisting or turning, like when I do I'll show you when I do this carrot nose. Like that one, my hand is moving a little because of the length of that line. I have to reposition it. But that time when I came straight down, my hand's just locked. Like there it's locked pretty much, but now I'm turning it a little. Again, it's just intuitive and you have to get used to it. But if you want these clean lines, you have to just practice. I love that look, those Disney thick and thin lines. I've always just thought it was so cool. And I really wanted to learn how to do it, and I spent so much time doing it. So on the carrot nose, you'll see, I think okay, now I went down. I've got a different brush here. Okay, this time I dropped down to I think this is my half-inch brush, maybe. Yeah. So you can see it's a little bit smaller because I wanted to get like maneuver in those spaces and stuff and be able to turn that. But then I go back. Now I just went back to my 1 inch and I'm going to do a line under the bottom. So right now I have 3 brushes in there. I have the 1 inch, the 3/4 inch, and I don't think I used the 3/4 inch on this particular design. And then I have the half-inch brush. So I have all 3.